Hey guys, thank you for tuning in to Searching for Scary. This week's topic is monsters. I've actually tried to upload this video like 3 times already, so I'm going to be a little quick and try and hopefully not get interrupted again. So, uh, first off, I do not have a manga for this week, but that's really because I've been spending a lot of money and spending a lot of time reading comic books, predominantly horror, of course, but we'll get into that. Unfortunately, I don't have a manga for this week, but I promise you I will have one next week, and I'll have a really good comic pick for you this week. So as far as the book is concerned, it's Monster Hunter International. It is about $7 on Amazon, and I promise you it is worth every dollar and your time to read this book. It starts off with a man who works 9 to 5, hates his job, doesn't really like where his life is going, and one night when he's working late, his boss turns into a werewolf, and then this huge battle ensues, and he's got to like run around the office fighting this werewolf, and he's he's using different objects to try and kill him, and it's awesome. Not everybody can write a great action scene in a book, but Larry Correa does a amazing job, and at the end of this, he obviously wins, or else there wouldn't be a book. So when he wins, he gets kind of found by this Monster Hunter like team, and they recruit him to come work for them. So I will tell you, this is a series. This is about a 9-book series or so. I think it's like 6 main books and like 2 or 3 spin-offs. But if you're looking for something that you can really get involved in, and you can start reading now and read like throughout the summer, if you just like series and being able to really like delve into some things, this is the book for you. It's really not just intriguing, but it's got a lot of lore to it, so you'll like it. Plus, it has a little something for everybody. It's not just werewolves. It's werewolves, there's vampires, there's trolls, fairies, demons, all sorts of stuff. And as you read further and further into the series, you'll find more and more monsters. It's really good. And even if you're not like a huge, I don't want to say not a horror fan, but if you're not a horror fan that doesn't love to be like really scared where you like can't sleep at night, this is probably a good pick for you too, because this is more of like an action series. It just happens to have monsters in it. I love it. I recommend this to like everybody I meet, again, because there's just something in there for everybody. Take the time, take the $7, order it. I promise you, you will not be upset, and you won't be mad that you spent those $7. It also has a board game. And then last note on this, even if you are not like a gun enthusiast, even if you totally hate guns, I can almost guarantee you will love the gun talk in this book. Mainly because they're hunting monsters, right? They're hunting these huge things that are going to try to kill them and other people. They have to have a lot of firepower. So a decent amount of the book is spent talking about the different weapons that they use, whether it's swords, guns, shotguns, flamethrowers, all sorts of really cool stuff. And they talk about how it gets made, and they even have like a gunsmith that makes them these customized weapons for certain monsters. It's amazing. Just trust me, get the book. It's great. The comic for this week, again, I've been reading a lot of comics lately. This one is from Antarctic Press. The only reason I bring that up first is because if you do decide to buy this, go to the publisher's website. You can buy it there for $4. If you look anywhere else, you're going to probably spend at least $10. Really, what the guy on the cover is able to manipulate electricity, so he can travel like through light sources. So he can be in one house and then leave and get to another house miles down within seconds. And he is a serial killer, so it makes it really hard to catch him or to even know who he is or what's going on, or how he's going to strike, because he can be anywhere at any time. It's really, I think, something new. I haven't seen much of this used as far as like using electricity as the function of traveling. But the, I guess, B plot on this one is the detective who's looking for him kind of thinks he knows who he is, or is going at it from a certain angle that he thinks other criminal has kind of set the trail for him. But the criminal he thinks is behind this, or that he believes the murders are kind of like a copycat of, was killed several years ago. So obviously that throws something else into it. And there is some supernatural stuff in here, and it's a slasher slash supernatural kind of book. I will say it's getting made into a movie. I think it's going to be like an Australian production company that's doing it, so it probably won't be a huge like blockbuster hit, but it is going to be a movie. And I will tell you right now, even if it's like a cult classic kind of thing where not everybody gets into it, hold on to this comic if you buy it, because at some point, if that movie is any sort of success, it will be worth something. Especially if you buy this one, it's just $4. You really, if nothing else, you're going to retain value on it, just like, probably more so than most regular books. You can get like a collector's edition, which is a $10 book. But either way, you should be good to at least retain the value if you ever decide you want to sell it for whatever reason. And again, if that movie is any sort of success whatsoever, you should be able to actually make some money on this. I don't know when the movie's coming out, but I do know that they are already working on it. So just keep that in mind. And again, to kind of point to this as being really good, it's something you should spend the 5 minutes on reading. It was good enough to get a movie. And I've read the first 3 comics at this point. They are all really, really well written. You know exactly what's going on, who the characters are, kind of what their motivations are. It's just really good. I don't say that about a lot of comics because some of these are really hard to get into because the writing is so pieced out. So anyways, I would give this a look, especially if you like slashers. Lastly, we have Stillborn. Stillborn is about the woman on this cover. She has just given birth. She was supposed to give birth to twins. However, one of the twins does not make it. So that being said, as she's raising this other child, she's hearing like something talking to her, coming up on the baby monitor, things like that. She doesn't know if it's like a demon or if she's maybe just like losing her mind or what's going on. On top of all that, she is at home because she's on maternity leave, and her husband is working. So she's the only person that's really being affected by these. And when she tells other people, they kind of play it off like, hey, maybe you have like postpartum, or there's something going on, maybe there's like a mental issue here. And so obviously they don't want to take her serious, and that kind of irritates me because I hate that the women always get that like, oh, you must be just some crazy woman. Like that's bull. If my wife were to tell me this, I promise you I would believe her. I mean, I don't care if I don't personally see it. If I come home, my wife tells me I heard voices talking to me, you better believe I'm leaving or getting a priest or something. So it's a really good movie though. So that aside. And it does continue to get creepier, and it goes from just hearing things to seeing things, and by the end of the movie, it's just like a full-out attack on her. So you should love this movie. I don't really see it talked about a lot. I don't even really see it brought up on Shudder a lot. So just be on the lookout for it. If you go to Shudder, it's totally free, obviously with your membership, but you're probably going to have to search for it, because it doesn't come up for me any other way, at least not on my Shudder. But that being said, you guys have a great day, and hopefully you found something here that you want to watch or read. Either way, thank you again for watching. Thank you for your support, and have a great day, okay?